Hello, good morning students. Today let us learn a concept called self-inductance. Self-inductance. It is a property of a given coil which is carrying current. For example, let me take one coil. If you allow the current to pass through it, the current will get rotate around the coil and it will come out. While the current is passing through the coil, it develops some EMF, or first of all it develops some magnetic field in the core of the coil like this. The lines of force are going like this. Generally, when current is moving in clockwise direction, it creates south pole. When current is moving in anti-clockwise direction, it creates north pole. Okay? So, if you are observing from this side, current is going like this in clockwise direction. South pole gets created here, north pole gets created here. Lines of force should go from north pole to south pole. They are going like this. Such a magnetic field got developed. Due to the resistance of the coil for the flow of the current takes some time to grow to the maximum value. As slowly current is increasing in the coil, the magnetic flux linked with the coil also increases slowly. The magnetic flux linked with the coil also increases slowly. As the flux linked with the coil is changing with respect to time, it leads to the development of EMF in the coil. That EMF is in a direction of opposing the original current. Such an EMF is called back EMF. Such an EMF is called back EMF. The property of developing a back EMF inside a coil is called self-induction. It itself is developing an EMF which is opposing the growth of current through the coil. Such a property is called self-induction. Once again I am saying, here is a coil and we are allowing current to pass through the coil. The current takes some time to grow its value. So current is gradually increasing in the coil. During that time, the magnetic flux linked with the coil also increases gradually. As the flux linked with the coil is going to change, it develops an EMF in a direction opposite to the growth of current. Such a property of developing back EMF by a coil is called its self-induction. So the flux linked with the coil is increasing with respect to the strength of current. The current is taking a little time to grow its value against the resistance of the conductor. If you want to remove the proportionality, you need to keep some constant here. This constant of proportionality is called coefficient of self-induction. Coefficient of self-induction. Or simply self-inductance of the coil. So if you take L is equal to 5 by I, flux is measured in Webers, current is measured in ampere. Weber per ampere is called Henry. Weber per ampere is called Henry. Henry is the unit of self-inductance. If I want to define self-inductance, Self-inductance is the property of a coil. Self-inductance is the property of a coil by which an induced EMF is developed, by which an induced EMF is developed in itself due to change in strength of the current, flowing through the coil itself. So whenever you send the current takes some time to grow to its maximum value against the resistance of the wire. During that time, the flux linked with the coil is going to change with respect to time. As the flux is changing, linked with the coil develops an EMF in a direction opposite to the growth of current. Such an EMF is called back EMF, or you can call it as induced EMF. Such property is called self-induction or self-inductance. And if you take this equation, phi is equal to Li, you know that induced EMF is equal to minus d phi b by dt. So whenever I want induced EMF, I should take derivative for flux value. As I said, L is a constant. The back EMF or induced EMF developed is given by minus L into di by dt. In this case, if you want to give the dimensions or units for L, that is E dt by di. E is volt second per ampere. Volt second per ampere. This is also called Henry. So the unit of self-inductance is Henry. The formula for finding self-inductance is phi is equal to Li, or back EMF E is equal to minus L into di by dt. These are the two important formulae for solving problems. Here let us define ideal inductor. Ideal inductor is a portion of a long solenoid in which the resistance is 0 and the magnetic field is uniform. Uniform in the sense all the magnetic lines of force are parallel to one another. An ideal conductor is a part of long solenoid. It is a part of long solenoid in which the resistance offered by the conductor for the flow of current is 0. The resistance offered for the flow of current is 0, and the established magnetic field is a uniform magnetic field. And the established magnetic field is a uniform magnetic field. And the established magnetic field is an uniform magnetic field. Such an inductor is called ideal inductor. Once again, I am stating the line here. An ideal inductor is a small section of a long solenoid long solenoid, its resistance is 0. Its resistance is 0, and when a current is set up in it, a uniform magnetic field exists. Magnetic field exists in it or in its core. So this is the definition of an ideal inductor. For an ideal inductor, if I want to calculate the self-inductance, you know that phi is equal to Li. Our back EMF developed is given by minus L into d phi by dt. These are the two formulae we derived. I would like to find the self-inductance of an ideal inductor. You know that the strength of the magnetic field at the center of a long solenoid, B is equal to mu naught Ni. B is equal to mu naught Ni. But you know that phi is equal to BA, B bar dot A bar. Here suppose the area of cross section is A and the length of the solenoid is L, and N is the number of turns per unit length of the solenoid or inductor. Inductor and solenoid both are same. A small portion of a solenoid is called inductor. So here B bar and A bar are parallel to each other, so cos 0 is 1. So you can simply write phi is equal to BA cos 0. Strength of the field is mu naught Ni. Area is A. Mu naught Ni A. Mu naught Ni A. That is the flux linked here. We need to find self-inductance. We need to find self-inductance. So self-inductance is given by L is equal to phi by I. That implies here phi by I, this is phi value, mu naught Na. Mu naught Na. Here this is the flux linked with a single turn. If I consider total flux linked, totally there are capital N turns, then N into mu naught Nia. Small n is the number of turns per unit length. So you can replace capital N with small n into L. Therefore, let me write here small nl into mu naught Nia, mu naught n square IAL. This is the total flux linked with the solenoid. You can compare it with flux is equal to Li. So you may write it as mu 0 n square AL into I. L is comparable with mu 0 n square AL. Mu 0 n square AL. This is the formula for self-inductance of a solenoid. Here n is the number of turns per unit length, A is the area of cross section of the solenoid or inductor, You can call it as solenoid or inductor. Small portion of solenoid is called inductor. Inductor. Here small n is the number of turns per unit length, capital N is the total number of turns. If you want to call this inductor as an ideal inductor, resistance must be 0. In reality, we don't have any ideal inductor. Practically, the flux linked with a single turn is given by this. Flux linked with the total number of turns is given by this. Total number of turns can be written as number of turns per unit length into length of the inductor. Then by multiplying this and by comparing with the general formula, you got this mu 0 n square al as the formula for self inductance of a inductor. Important question. Now, potential difference across an inductor. Potential difference across an inductor. Suppose let me consider an inductor like this. Inductor means a coil, a small coil like this, carrying current like this. The terminals of the inductor are represented as A and B. The current is going like this. So you will get some magnetic field, and due to the variation of this current, some induced EMF or back EMF is developed inside that coil. That property is called self-induction. Now the question is, I need to find the potential difference between the two ends of the inductor. If the current flowing through the inductor is constant, case number 1. If current passing through the inductor is constant, what will happen? If there is no change in current, there is no change in magnetic flux linked with the coil. If there is no change in magnetic flux linked with the coil, there is no induced EMF or back EMF. Back EMF value is 0. So then the potential difference, as current is constant, the derivative of current is 0. Then the back EMF is minus L into di by dt. So that is minus L into 0. That is 0. Back EMF developed is 0. Okay. Therefore, potential at A must be equal to potential at B. There is no potential difference between the 2 points. There is no potential difference between the 2 points. Similarly, if the current is going to increase with time, case number 2. Case 2. When the current flowing through the inductor increases at a rate, when the current flowing through the inductor increases at a rate di by dt. What will happen? When current is increasing, magnetic flux linked with the coil increases. When magnetic flux linked with the coil increases, back EMF gets developed. Back EMF gets developed. Therefore, that back EMF is having polarity like this. This is the back EMF developed. If you want to calculate the developed back EMF, we should find the potential difference between the 2 points. The potential difference between 2 points VA minus VB, that must be equal to the back EMF developed. The back EMF developed is given by L into di by dt. L into di by dt. As it is developed in the opposite direction, I kept minus of minus plus here. That is nothing but potential at B or A, you bring it this way, minus L into di by dt. You take this VB that side. Potential at A and potential at B are related by this formula. Potential at A like this. That means, suppose the potential at this point is VA, potential at this point is VB. As per Kirchhoff's law, you can write VA and E, that should be equal to VB. Current is going from high to low. High to low means it is negative. Current is going from high to low. It is taken as negative. So the VA is opposed by E. So VA value is decreased by E. Then you will get VB. That is nothing but VA minus. Already it is opposing. The direction is taken here. I should not keep minus again here. Minus L into di by dt is equal to VB. So this is the potential at B. The potential at B is nothing but potential at A reduced by back EMF value. Similarly, if current is decreasing, case number 3. Here di by dt is positive, greater than 0. Current is increasing with time. Case number 3. If current decreases with the time, that is di by dt is less than 0, then VA minus E must be equal to VB as per Kirchhoff law, because it is a back EMF which is opposing the original EMF. VA minus L into this di by dt should be taken as negative here, is equal to VB. That implies VA plus L into di by dt is equal to. So in this way, we should have the potential difference between the two ends of a inductor. Whenever we are solving problems, we use this idea. Next concept, energy stored in an inductor. Energy stored in an inductor. Important for 3 marks question in your CBSE board examination. Let me consider an inductor. This is the inductor having terminals A and B. Let I is the strength of the current passing through the inductor. The back EMF developed is E. Back EMF developed is E. Okay. So, we know that in capacitor, energy is stored in electric field, but in inductor, energy is stored in magnetic field, because whenever you are sending current, some magnetic field is getting developed here. So energy is stored in magnetic field. So that is the difference between capacitor and inductor. But we would like to find the energy stored in this magnetic field. Already, let us suppose the current is increasing with time. That means di by dt is greater than 0. Then back EMF developed is E. E is equal to minus L into di by dt. Potential at A minus L into di by dt is equal to potential at B. This is the thing already known to you. Nothing but potential difference between A and B, VA minus VB. You can write VAB is equal to L into di by dt. Potential difference between A and B is nothing but VA minus VB is equal to L into di by dt. Here L is the self-inductance of the coil, what I considered. The power is equal to voltage into current. Power involved here is voltage. Voltage means potential difference between A and B, nothing but L into di by dt into I. Power is nothing but rate of doing work. So here and here derivative is done with respect to time. You can remove that time. Then you can write it dw is equal to Li di. Li di. Integrate on both sides. Integral dw is equal to L, as it is a constant, integral I dA. Current is increasing with time, I said. So current value initially 0, finally let it be I. So initially no need of initial work done is 0, final work done is W. Here work is done against the back EMF. Work is done against the back EMF to develop the magnetic field. So the work done is given by integral dw is W only, L into I square by 2, 0 to I. So W is equal to half Li square. This work done is stored as energy in the form of magnetic field. That's why I will write UB. UB means energy stored in the form of magnetic field, nothing but this work done, half Li square. So the general expression for energy stored in an inductor is half Li square. Next, let us calculate energy density. Of an inductor. Energy density of an inductor. The energy stored per unit volume is called energy density. Energy density is equal to energy stored by volume in which that energy is stored. Energy density is represented with small u. Energy stored is U, capital U. Already we calculated half Li square is the energy stored in an inductor. Volume means area of cross section into length of the inductor. Let an inductor be here. Length of the inductor is L, area of cross section is A. So volume is area of cross section into length. Let L is the self inductance of this, I is the strength current passing through it. Energy stored is given by half Li square. So energy density, whenever you want small u, you should take energy half Li square by area of cross section into length. Area of cross section into length. Already we calculated an expression for self inductance, mu 0 n square Al. So if I substitute it here, energy density is given by In the place of L, mu 0 n square Al I square by 2 Al gets cancelled. So energy density small u is given by half mu 0 n square I square, half mu 0 n square, L gets cancelled, A gets cancelled, mu 0 n square I square. That is the energy density. You can multiply with mu naught, divide with mu naught for our convenience. Then energy density is given by mu 0 Ni whole square by 2 mu naught. Already you know that the strength of the magnetic field inside an ideal inductor is given by mu naught Ni. So energy density small u is given by B square by 2 mu naught. Very important. B square by 2 mu naught. Energy stored per unit volume in an inductor is called its energy density. Energy stored in unit volume of an inductor is called energy density. Or simply energy density is defined as the ratio of energy stored by the volume of the inductor. Volume of the inductor means area of cross section into length. Energy stored is half Li square. Already we calculated the formula for coefficient of self inductance. L is equal to mu 0 n square Al. By substituting that I got a formula like this. For convenience I multiplied and divided with mu naught. Then the numerator get a form mu 0 square n square I square, that is mu 0 Ni whole square by 2 mu naught. So energy density is given by B square by 2 mu naught. Very important formula. It is in resemblance with energy density of an electric field. Energy density of electric field. It is in resemblance with energy density of electric field. Half epsilon naught E square. Here it is B square by 2 mu naught. Energy density of electric field we calculated in electrostatics lesson. That is half epsilon naught E square. This is B square by 2 mu naught. Here permittivity will be in the numerator part. Here permeability is in denominator part. This is strength of electric field. This is the strength of magnetic field. I hope everybody followed this. And you have to remember that energy density formula. B square by 2 mu naught. Energy formula is half Li square. Self-inductance formula is mu 0 n square Al. Strength of the magnetic formula is mu naught Ni. By knowing all these formulae, we can solve any problem. Next concept is grouping of inductors. Grouping of inductors. So if you take a set of inductors, this is inductor 1, inductor 2, inductor 3. If they are connected like this inductance is L1, its inductance is L2, its inductance is L3. End to end, if you connect the inductors, this grouping is called series grouping. In series grouping, I would like to find effective inductance of the combination. Okay, and this is series grouping. In series grouping, I would like to find the effective inductance of the combination. Let me name these points as A, B, C, D for my convenience. As we know, the definition of self-inductance of the first coil L1 is given by, or you can say the potential difference between A and B minus L into di by dt. Similarly, potential difference between B and C minus L into same di by dt. Potential difference between C and D is nothing but minus L into di by dt. But here the inductance is L1, here the inductance is L2, here the inductance is L3. That is the only difference. The same current is passing and the same current is changing at a rate di by dt. Di by dt is greater than 0. Current is increasing with respect to time. Let me take. Now, VAB means VA minus VB. VBC means VB minus VC. That means potential difference between these two. VCD means VC minus VD. Okay. Now, if you add all the three equations, what will happen? If you add all the three equations, what will happen? Already, we have a concept of potential difference between the ends of a conductor. Whenever we take the potential difference between the ends of a conductor, if current is increasing with respect to time, these terms are positive terms. If current is decreasing with respect to time, these terms are negative terms. Just you see the before concept. Now, this is equation number 1, equation number 2, equation number 3. Equation 1 plus 2 plus 3. That is L1 into di by dt plus L2 into di by dt plus L3 into di by dt. That is equal to VA minus VB plus VB minus VC plus VC minus VD. BBCC gets cancelled. So VA minus VD, nothing but potential difference between A and D is given by L1 plus L2 plus L3 into di by dt. As per the general formula, if I take the potential difference between AD, again you will get positive term L effective into di by dt, because current is increasing with time. Current is increasing with time, the potential difference between the ends is given by L into di by dt. Based on that you got this. So VAD is equal to L effective into di by dt. That is L effective is equal to L1 plus L2 plus L3. This is the effective inductance of the combination. This is the effective inductance of the combination. L1 plus L2 plus L3. So in series combination, the effective inductance is the sum of individual inductances, or equivalent inductance is the sum of individual inductances. This is very, very simple. Only one point you should remember here is, when current is increasing with time, the potential difference between the ends of a conductor is given by positive L into di by dt. Between these two terms means here inductance is L1, between these two terms is L2, between these two terms is L3, like this. So this is the effective inductance. I hope everybody followed this. Now let us discuss parallel grouping. This is one inductor, this is the second inductor, this is the third inductor. Those three inductors having inductances L1, L2, L2, L3, they were connected in parallel combination. That means all the first ends are joined to one point, second ends are joined to one point. Whatever current is coming, this current is getting divided into the three inductors, and again it is combined to come out. Let I1 is the current passing through the first inductor, I2 is the current passing through the second inductor, I3 is the current passing through the third inductor. You know that as per Kirchhoff's junction law, current approaching equal to current leaving, I1 plus I2 plus I3. This is the general formula. And if you take the potential difference is V. In parallel combination, same is the potential difference between any two ends of the, between these two ends or between these two ends or between these two ends of the inductors. So the potential difference V is given by L into di by dt. L into di by dt. Here let di by dt is greater than 0. That means current is increasing with time. Current increases with the time. When I take current increases with time, V value is L into di by dt across first inductor. AC ROSS across L1, potential difference is like this. Across L2, potential difference is given by again L into di by dt, but here across L1 means L1 you should take, across L2 means L2 you should take. Across L3, the potential drop is L3 into di by dt. Okay. All the three are having identical structure, but through L1 current passing is I1, through L2 the current passing is I2, through L3 the current passing is I3. This is the thing. Now we need to combine these three equations. So if you differentiate it on both sides, di by dt is equal to di1 by dt plus di2 by dt plus di3 by dt. How do you got it? Differentiating both sides with respect to t, you got the relationship. di1 by dt means V by L1, V by L2, V by L3. di by dt means overall potential difference is V only, but L equivalent or L effective you should take here. So V gets cancelled. So 1 by L equivalent or 1 by L effective is equal to 1 by L1 plus 1 by L2 plus 1 by L3 is the effective EMF of the, effective inductance of the combination of inductors in parallel grouping. In series grouping, L equivalent or L effective is given by L1 plus L2 plus L3. In parallel grouping, 1 by L effective is equal to 1 by L1 plus 1 by L2 plus 1 by L3. Even in case of current is decreasing with time, you will get minus sign here, again minus sign will get cancelled. Whether a current is increasing, whether current is decreasing, the effective inductance of the combination will be given by this formula. I hope everybody followed this. Thank you. Let us solve one or two problems based on the self-induction concept. The question. The figure shows a part of complete circuit. The figure shows a part of complete circuit. At the instant shown, the current I is equal to 2 amperes and is decreasing at a rate and is decreasing at a rate 2 into 10 cube ampere per second. 2 into 10 cube ampere per second. Find the potential difference between A and B. And the energy stored in magnetic field at this instant. This is the question, and the question figure it is like this. This is terminal A, this is terminal B. Current is flowing like this. This is 2 ohms resistor. This is 1 millihenry inductor. This is 5 ohms resistor. This is 15 volts cell. This is a 3 ohm resistor. This is a 12 volts cell. The current is passing from B to A. The current is passing from B to A. This is the question. Once you read the question, the solution is quite simple. The figure shows the part of complete circuit. At this instant shown, the current I is equal to 2 amperes and is decreasing at a rate 2 into 10 cube ampere per second. Find the potential difference between A and B and the energy stored in the magnetic field at that instant. Okay, so I need to find the potential difference between VA and B and the energy stored in the magnetic field, capital UB. These are the 2 question marks. Solution. Now, whenever such a circuit related problem is given, we should apply KVL by KVL. Kirchhoff voltage law. We already studied in current electricity. Whenever 2 ampere current, whenever current I is passing through 2 ohm resistor, you know that V is equal to IR is the general formula. So the potential drop here is 2I. The potential drop here is 2I. And here the potential drop is given by minus L into di by dt. Minus L into di by dt. So you are going from A to B. So first of all, the potential at A is VA. So VA going from high to low. This is positive. So high to low, you are going like this. High to low means negative I should take, minus 12 volts. Here the potential drop is 3I. You are going from high to low, so negative. Low to high, positive plus 15, high to low, minus 5I. Actually current is going from high to low. Current is going like this. You are going from low to high. So low to high means even here current is going like this. You are moving like this, current is going like this. This is the direction of motion of current. Once again I am saying potential at A is VA. From at the cell the potential drop is 12. You are going from high to low, therefore I should take negative. Current is coming in this way, that means this is high potential, this is low potential. Current is going from high to low potential, but you are moving from low to high. Low to high means the potential drop is taken as positive. Low to high means the potential drop is taken as positive. Again low to high you are going, so potential drop is taken as positive. So here the potential drop between the two ends is given by L into di by dt. L into di by dt. Whether I have to take positive or negative. Current is going from high to this end is low. Okay, high to low. You are going from low to high. Therefore I should take minus here. Already the potential drop here is minus. Minus of minus, it becomes plus. Once again I am saying the potential drop at the inductor is minus L into di by dt. You are going from low to high. Low to high means you should take positive. So finally minus of minus it becomes positive. Simply I am saying the potential drop at the inductor is L into di by dt. It should be taken as positive. So here current is going from high to low. You are going from low to high. So low to high, you should take it as positive 2I. That must be equal to VB, potential VB. Once again, I am going to describe the equation. Potential at A is VA, potential at B is VB. Current is going in this way. Current always move from high potential to low potential. At this resistor, this is high, this is low. At this inductor, this is high, this is low. At this resistor, this is high, this is low. At this resistor, this is high, this is low. You are moving from A to B. So it is the direction of your motion. It is the direction of current motion. Whenever you are going from low to high, it is taken as positive as per convention. High to low is taken as negative. Once you see here VA, here high to low, with respect to this battery, positive to negative you are going. High to low means negative. I should take minus. At this inductor, this is high potential, this is low potential, current is going like this, but you are moving from low to high. I should take plus. The potential drop is given by V is equal to IR. And at this battery, low to high means positive. Low to high means positive. Low to high means positive. Potential drop here is L into di by dt. Now, again here also low to high, you should take positive like this. You are given that the current is decreasing at a rate. Current is di by dt, it is negative, they said, decreasing. That is 2 into 10 power 3 ampere per second. Di by dt value they gave it as minus. Current is decreasing with respect to time. Now, VA minus 12. What is the strength of the current? At that instant, 2 amperes. Plus 3 into 2, plus 15, plus 5 into 2, plus L into L value. What is L value? Did they give L value in the problem? 1 millihenry they gave. This is L. 1 into 10 power minus 3 into current is decreasing, so 2 into 10 cube plus 2 into I value 2 is equal to VB. Okay. So VA minus 12 plus 6 plus 15 plus 10. Okay. This becomes minus 10 power minus 3 plus 3 will go. 2 will be left over plus 4 is equal to VB. That is VA minus 6 minus 8 plus 29. So you will get minus 14 minus 12 minus 2, 21 plus 4, 25. 35 plus 10 is equal to VB. That you bring this side. VA minus VB is equal to minus 21 volts. Current is going from high potential to low potential. So VB is at high potential, VA at low potential. As you have taken VA minus VB, low to high, you have taken, therefore you got negative sign here. And also you are asked to find energy stored. Energy stored is half Li square. That is half into L value 1 millihenry, that is 10 power minus 3. Current value 2 square. So 2 square is 4. 4 by 2 is 2. So that is 2 into 10 power minus 3. Energy is measured in joules. That is 2 millijoules. 2 millijoules. This is the answer for the question. Very, very simple. Don't confuse with these signs. You are going from VA to VB. Current is coming from VB to VA. Current always moves from high potential to low potential. So with respect to this resistor, high is here, low is here. With respect to this inductor, high is here, low is here. With respect to this resistor, high is here, low is here. You should not speak about battery. Battery is already having, this is negative, this is positive. So like that. If you are moving from high to low, it should be taken as negative. If you are going from low to high, that should be taken as positive according to KVL. We applied this, and we should not get confused with the signs of the terms. Always the potential drop at the resistor is given by V is equal to IR, potential drop at the inductor is given by L into dI by dt. You take directly L into dI by dt, whether it is positive or negative, you judge. You are going from low to high, so you should take positive. That is very simple. One more simple question. A magnetic flux (8 into 10 power minus 4 Weber) is linked with each turn of a coil having 200 turns when there is an electric current (4 amperes) in it. Calculate the self-inductance of coil. Calculate the self-inductance of coil. So, solution. You are given magnetic flux 8 into 10 power minus 4 Webers. Number of turns, total number of turns are 200. Current 4 amperes they give. You are asked to find self-inductance. So, this is the flux linked with each turn. This is for single turn. Total flux, if you want, total number of turns into flux linked with each turn. That is 200 into 8 into 10 power minus 4. That is 1600 into 10 power minus 4. That is 1.6 into 10 power minus 1. 1.6 into 10 power minus 1, or you can write 0.16 Webers. 0.16 Webers. Phi is equal to, phi total is equal to Li. L is equal to phi total by I. That is 0.16 by strength of the current is 4. That is 0.04 Henry. 0.04 Henry. You can write it as 40 into 10 power minus 3 Henry. That is 40 millihenry is the answer. 40 millihenry is the answer for the given question. So as per the question, they gave flux linked with a single turn. We calculated flux linked with all the turns, and we know that phi is equal to Li. Total flux is equal to L into I. Then L is given by total flux by current. So total flux is 0.16 by 4. You got the answer for the question as phi is equal to Li. L is equal to phi by I, 40 millihenry. I hope everybody understood this question. Thank you.